It's tough being a high school girl and not being able to afford nice clothes or makeup. I remember some of the wealthier popular girls making fun of me for dressing like a bag lady, but sometimes a sweatshirt was the only thing that I had without any holes. I was an only child, so thankfully I was the only person that had to suffer along with my parents. High school went by and it wasn't pleasant, but I got through it, and my family survived on too. As time went on, we just found ways to cope without having money. I knew that I was going to have to start getting a part-time job in school, which I was honestly kind of looking forward to. And that's when I got an after-school job at this local chain store. So I pretty much worked as much as I could over the summer. Me and this one guy I really didn't care for had to work this together. His name was Jeremy. He gave me really weird vibes and had made inappropriate comments. He wasn't dirty or perverted or anything, but he was just extremely offensive and never held back a nasty insult whenever he felt like throwing one at you. We didn't like each other, but both of us wanted to do our job and get paid without too much of a hassle, so we were at least in a functional working relationship for the sake of our jobs. This was a weekday night, and it just happened to be particularly slow. I never really worked there later shifts, so I had no idea what to really expect, and then my memory goes blank. For hours, I had no idea what had happened. I just remember waking up in the middle of the store and getting up and feeling really sick. I was dizzy and confused, and it took me a few minutes to realize where I was or what had happened. I heard a deep crunching noise beneath my feet. I didn't look down. I was too dazed, but I assumed that they were M&Ms or some kind of candy. After walking outside, I got even more confused than I already was. I went back inside and saw blood. I looked down at my shoes and noticed that I was covered in a thick, dark red liquid. I started hyperventilating, called 911. They were there within minutes. I was rushed to the hospital, and that was that. When I was at the hospital, they found drugs in my system. This surprised me because I didn't even smoke cigarettes. The drugs they found in my system were likely the kind that you find in roofies or whatever, and the police had a theory that it went something like this. Jeremy was a mentally unstable individual. He decided that he wanted to end his own life. He was kind of obsessed with becoming infamous. He even ran a whole bunch of social media accounts where he was desperately attempting to become a celebrity. Well, he figured the only way he was ever going to become truly famous was if he committed some kind of horrible crime in some terrible fashion that shocked the world, and he decided that it was going to be that night with me there. The police believed that as crazy as he may have been, he wasn't a fundamentally violent person, so he couldn't bring himself to hurt me or anything else like that. But he did have a plan. He slipped a roofie or some kind of drug into my monster that I'd been drinking during that shift. After I passed out, he shot himself in the head, staring at the security camera. He even set up his smartphone on a tripod to capture it, in hope that it would be used as footage on the news. I'm pretty sure they did actually use it, and when I had woken up, the crunchy stuff on the floor, or fragments, was a skull.